I'm Linda Deer. Welcome to Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, a weekly gift of guidance from my spirit guides on navigating you through the uncertain world that you are now living in. Published every Tuesday since 2014. In this episode, the guides will be talking about get real with your free will. So, Ray, what do you have for me?
Well, I've noticed that when you came into this life as a new person, all you had was free will to make decisions with. I mean, you had no other frame of reference until somebody along the way stopped that. They upset the apple cart. No, you can't do that.
Right. That's right. And you guys all remember what that felt like. You were determined to exercise your free will, no matter what. Because like Ray said, it's really all you had. The power to say no. Okay, the power to push back and challenge whoever was imposing that demand on you, whatever it happened to be, all right? Well, and throughout your childhood, you learned to, bit by bit, piece by piece, relinquish your free will for the sake of the good of the whole, okay? That was the whole premise. That's what you were sold on. That's the way we operate in this classroom. There's 30 of you, and you have to work with me, the teacher talking to you, and you have to do this. Okay, your free will was thinking about going out and playing in the play yard, all right, out in the school grounds. But that's what you wanted to do. That was your free will wanting to do that. Okay, where you had to actually go to that class and be in there for about 45 minutes before recess, all right? So you had to learn how to compromise, really, and you learned to do that. You saw that the purpose in it. It's for the good of the whole, all right, for the many. So you said, yeah, I'm in a classroom and we're all learning stuff, and we need to do this to learn it, all right, even if I don't feel like it, even if I'd rather go play. That's the kid. That's when you were young. Free will. But over time, it got diminished because you compromised here, you compromised there. You were conditioned to compromise your free will away. That's what happened, all right? And then by the time you hit, I don't know, early teens or even before that, you learned how to become rebellious. There was a point where you stood your ground. You guys, that's what's going on right now. Your free will is no longer an option. Your free will is your freedom at stake. Okay? That's where we are right now on the timeline of this lifetime. And you are being coerced. You are being convinced, maybe. If you don't do your research now, your free will, if you let this slide anymore, your free will not only be at risk, but it will be forfeited. And I don't want to even go there, wherever that forfeit takes you, wherever you land by happenstance. I mean, it's like, wow, I don't even know what's going to happen to me now. I'm scared to death to exercise my free will. What will they do to me? Well, what will they do to you if you don't? Okay, that's where we are. I couldn't help but do this insight about free will. You guys need to really look it in the eye now, because your free will is your freedom. And if you cave in now and you don't exercise your free will, you do not stand up for what you believe in and who you are, then your freedom is going to go away. And I can't even imagine what that looks like. That's a consequence I would not be willing to put up with myself. It's not a consequence I'm going to pay. I'm going to exercise my free will. And if that takes me out, I'm fine with that. I can't live in a world where I can't be free. I live in America where we are free. Now, how about the people who try to come here? The border, between us and Mexico. the ocean between other countries and us. They come here and they drop down to their knees and go, thank God, because there was no chance for them. They were persecuted. There was no chance for them in the country they came from. And then guess what happened? 2020 happened. And these people come to this country and they see what's going on, all these mandates and all this pressure that's being put on people to relinquish their free will. Here, there, another part here, another part there. Oh, it's okay. It's for our own good. It's for the good of the whole. It's the this and the that. Okay. Is it? Have you done your research? How do you know that what they're telling you is true? That's your free will. Use it. Use your free will to do your research. That's free will to protect your freedom, to make sure you're not being pulled down the wrong road because you want to believe it because it's easy. You guys, your lives have been easy. I'm going to tell you, your whole life has been easy. You may have said, oh, my work is hard, and my family, they're difficult. But it's when you really look at it against other countries and what they go through and what these people go through, your life has been a cakewalk. Now it's time for you to defend your freedom. You've never had to do it before. But it's showtime. It's time now. These people come to this country now and they go, oh, thank God. But you know what they do when they lift their heads? They go, what? Isn't this America? Isn't this the land of the free? That's what I escaped persecution. And here I come here and you guys are all going through the same thing that led my country to the point where they are, where I had to run away. I had to get away. Okay. They appreciate freedom, even though they've never had it. They only imagined it. They come here and they go, but this is the land of the free. Where's the freedom? What happened to America? This is more like the country that I came from. Okay. So you guys have to really realize what happened since 2020. It was a real game changer. And it's time for you to stand your ground. Stand up for your free will. Stand up for yourself. And how are you really going to pull this off? These journals right here, my book, my flagship book, you probably want to listen to it or read it first. It talks about how I had to stand up for my free will and I had to stand up for myself because nobody else did. And I performed on everything beautifully only because I had my guides by my side the entire way. That's the edge that you have. You need to apply it. And when you get these journals are the companion journals to Guided. This is how I did it, and this is how you do it. It's the secret sauce to get your life back, you guys. Free will is just one huge part of the pie. But you guys need to wake up to this, because if you don't, in the next year, and at the most, the next 2 years, you're going to pay a heavy price for not stepping up, standing up for yourself, and exercising your free will. But do your research first. And write in your journal, these are journals, about as you move through this, what you're realizing, what you're coming to understand, what you're researching, and what's becoming clear to you now, right after you're done getting mad. Because once you do this research, you will get mad. And if you don't, then you probably can't be reached. Because it should make you mad. What's going on and what's fixing to go on. All right, what they've got planned for you. If you just keep on, sleeping through it and not paying attention and not exercising your free will and not doing your research. Okay, that's enough of this. All right, so exercise your free will. Get real with your free will. Okay, so if my work has changed your life in any way positively, share what I do with your like-minded friends. And like always, my spirit guides and I love your comments. So keep them coming. We're going to close this session from, how do I describe this? From the spirit guides, from my spirit guide angels, from these light beings that followed me here. And here they go.
Free will is the driving force behind freedom. Remember when you were a child and your parents said, I know you want to do that, but if you do that, you won't get your allowance this week. If you do that, you won't have a job next week. But I want to go to the high school football game this week. Well, if you do that, you can't. If you don't do this, you won't be able to go to any sporting events. This is a supreme example of if you think it's good for the masses and you do it, you are operating on your free will. But if you feel in your heart or in your gut that something is seriously wrong, then you're right. That's also your free will.
And your intuition.
Right. So what both is that they both have consequences. You can only and accept the consequences of that decision. The question becomes, which one will you follow? It's like going one way and you go through a door to a new beginning. But if you go the other way, you fall into a hole, never to be seen again.
You know, when you really think about it and you remove the fear that drives you, and it does, exercising your free will is a no-brainer. What happens is you have to spot the fear that you're being sold and do your research, get angry, okay? And then write it all down so you can track yourself and you can get right with this. You can get clear with this. You can be present with this instead of being angry or feeling really sad, you know, one way or the other. You got to come to a balance here in the center where you can accept what is, you know, reality, the way that they're presenting it, and decide where you stand in the midst of this chaos, you guys, because we are in chaos. It's just beginning to roll out. It's not going to end next week or by Christmas or the beginning of the year. No, it's just starting to happen. So you need to get right with your free will. It's showtime. You have help. You are never alone and always being guided.